Guys, I just made a Twitter account, so please hit me up with a follow there. I'm very active right over there right now. Also, I'd like you guys to suggest ideas for me in the comments for plays, things I can do that would help me be better as a YouTuber. I love the feedback, so please enjoy this video. Thank you guys. So as you know from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Russell Westbrook. But this is not, I'm not only going to talk about Russell Westbrook in this video. I've got some other things I want to talk about. You can see it's a little longer than my average park video, so that would explain that. Also want to address that changed the look of my guy just for this game because I wanted to match with my teammate. It has nothing to do with my career guy. I have the glasses on, you can see, but you know, otherwise we're pretty similar if you ask me. Anyway, Russell Westbrook. So this video is called Why the Thunder Should Trade Russell Westbrook. And I'm making this video because I like to address what's going on in the NBA while it is happening. And right now, as of right now, Russell Westbrook is a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I have no idea if in any amount of time that he will be on a different team, because obviously I'm not an insider. I don't know that stuff. You know, there are speculations, but we don't really know exactly what they are. So there are rumors that say the Celtics wanted him, but now they're saying the Celtics are saying that they haven't talked about Russ or Blake Griffin, who is another guy whose name is floating around in the trade conversation. But I read something today that said the Cavs might be in on a Russell Westbrook trade, a 3-team trade with someone else that might send Russell Westbrook. I don't know. Now, that's the news on Russell Westbrook. More news on Russell Westbrook is just the fact that he says that he's not going to re-sign in the offseason of 2017. So he has 1 year left on his deal right now. He's not going to re-sign, is what he says. And to me, that just means this team isn't good enough right now. It just isn't. They had the worst offseason out of any team in the NBA. Let's just face it, because if you lose a perennial superstar player like Kevin Durant, a top 5 player like Kevin Durant, you're in big trouble, because the Thunder didn't make the finals last year. They almost made the finals. They were closer to making the finals than any team that wasn't Golden State or Cleveland, but they didn't make it. Did I think they were good enough? Absolutely. I thought they were good enough to play in the NBA Finals. But the reality of it was they just couldn't get over the hump. And Kevin Durant's frustrated. He's frustrated with just one finals appearance. In the last 3 years, they haven't been to the finals. I think maybe 4 years? Yeah, last 4 years they haven't been to the finals. So it's been a drought in Oklahoma City. They never won a finals. And Kevin Durant's saying, well, I'm 28. I think he's 28. 27, 28. He's like, I've been in the league 9 years. I need to win a ring. And Kevin Durant wants to win. That's the only thing he cares about in the NBA is winning. And that would explain this. Kevin Durant went to Golden State because he wanted to win. It's just that simple. And Russell Westbrook is not going to win in Oklahoma City, nor does it seem like he wants to be there, because he can find somewhere better to play. And if Oklahoma City's not good, he says, well, there's no point in playing there. So that brings us to why the Oklahoma City Thunder should trade him. Russell Westbrook is, in my opinion, a top 4 player in the NBA. I think he's the 4th best player in the league. That is worth an incredible amount of value that is irreplaceable by a single player. A Russell Westbrook. We're not talking about just a great player. We're talking about a guy that might be the most athletic and explosive point guard to ever play the game. He is a superhuman. He is like one of the least, when you see him play, you're like, wow, that guy is just, he's unreal. He's one of the most unreal players in the NBA. I mean, he is a monster. He is worth so much because he does so much on the floor. He's a triple-double machine. You can get some serious value for him. He's in his prime. He's as good as he's ever going to be. I mean, unless he improves, and he can improve in a different team. They want him. Teams want him. So if you're Oklahoma City, would you rather let him walk at the end of 2017? Keep him for a year. The year in my opinion, is pointless. Why would you want him for 1 year? You're not going to do anything in that year unless he really is that good enough to lead you to a title. I don't think he is. That's not a knock against Russell Westbrook. That's just me looking at their roster, and then looking at the Warriors roster, the Cavs roster, the Spurs roster. Even though they lost Tim Duncan, they're still threatening the Celtics, the Celtics, the Pacers. Teams like that, the Thunder just can't compete with. They're not going to be able to beat those teams, and Russell Westbrook knows that, and the Thunder should know that as well with this roster they have. They lost Kevin Durant. It's not their fault, but they just have to realize this. It's not them. That's Kevin Durant. He made his decision. There's nothing they could do about it. So they should trade Russell Westbrook, get some young pieces. They can get a lot. A team like the Celtics, it makes perfect sense because the Celtics, they have picks and they want to win, so they don't need those picks. They're trade chips, all of them. All of the Brooklyn picks they got from the KG and Pierce to Brooklyn trade are trade chips, and they're usable they're expendable. So that makes perfect sense. You got to get a trade from Boston, from somewhere. Cleveland, they say Cleveland wants in. I don't like this as a Bulls fan or a basketball fan. Now, if Russell Westbrook goes to Cleveland, you got 2 super teams in the league, and the rest, it's just like book a finals rematch already and be done with it. We don't need the regular season. So that's something. I think Russell Westbrook is an absolutely talented player. He is one of the best players in the league and might be the most fun to watch player in the NBA, honestly. He is so aggressive. He plays with so much passion. But the thing is, he doesn't want to be in Oklahoma City. I think that's just fact. Unless he says something about, no, I changed my mind, I'll sign a contract extension, or I'll sign with you. And there's no reason to keep him. You want to get rid of him. I don't think you get anything else. Maybe, revenue, but you're not trying to win. It just wouldn't make any sense for them not to trade him at this point, with the status of the situation being what it is. Now, I do have a couple minutes left in this video. I'm going to talk about Tim Duncan and why Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. Also, I want to get to, I think, in a different video I might talk about Summer League because a lot's been going on. When it's over, I think I'll do a summary of it. But right now I'm talking about Tim Duncan. I didn't really get time to talk about Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. 5-time champion, 2-time MVP. I think he's, I don't know the exact numbers or anything else, but he made all defensive first team multiple times. He's incredible all-star, Hall of Famer. And I saw this thing, it said that the NBA should retire the numbers of only Kobe and Tim Duncan in 2021 when they're eligible to be, I'm tweaking. It's the Hall of Fame. They should only put Kobe and Tim Duncan in the Hall of Fame in 2021 just because they need to pay the ultimate respects to them. They are 2 of the greatest players that this generation has seen or that anyone has ever seen. So much respect for them. But the point is, Tim Duncan, his accolades, his effectiveness, his dominance, his leadership, commitment to the game, all unmatched by any other power forward. I don't think there's a question about it if you ask me. If you want to debate it, go ahead. I think I'll be just fine in that argument. But he was just someone that people didn't really like to watch because he wasn't flashy. Everybody knows this. He's Mr. Fundamentals, and he gets it done. I liked watching him because he's just so effective. He makes it look so easy, but not really beautiful or graceful at the same time. But he's a basketball player. I love the sport, and he's effective. He's a truly great one that the game has seen. So that's gonna wrap up this discussion that I'm mostly talking about Russell Westbrook, why he should be traded to the Boston Celtics or any other team, just not stay on the Oklahoma City Thunder because it just doesn't make any sense for the Thunder standpoint. I'm not sure where Westbrook wants to play, but wherever it is, just have it not be an OKC. I think that would be the perfect situation for him. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.